Chris Duffin,
Dr. Den Perez.
coming at you. We're going to continue a discussion we started around arch supports in shoes. There's a lot of people that believe that they've got a flat foot, which can be said yes or no, but it's a little bit more of a discussion because it's more around your ability to control your foot and ankle complex that is the critical thing. To be able to keep this stack over the top and be able to control it. And so the arch themselves, they come in
different shapes, right? Some people have a higher arch. Some people have a lower arch. And that's not a good or a bad thing. They're just good and bad at different things, right? So when it comes to our lower arch friends, they might need a little bit more strength. They might need a little bit more control. And so we know that when you're wearing a shoe that's more flexible and doesn't have that arch support, then the foot is what has to do the work. There's research out there now showing that wearing a minimalist shoe over the period of time will build strength in the foot intrinsic muscles and extrinsic muscles as well.
Yeah, and it's really important to understand because, like, if I take my shoe off, a lot of people look and think I have a flat foot. But all my lifting, you can see it done for years, including my record lifts, are done without shoes. And you'll see that I have an active foot. It actually comes up and is able to completely control, and there's no loss, there's no pronation or supination of this joint. And so it's not something that needs to be fixed.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's to understand. They come in different shapes and sizes, and the times that, well, this is a meta-analysis of the research on orthotics show that they do the same thing would happen if my elbow's sore and I put a wrap on it, temporary relief for a 6 to 8 week period of time. And beyond that, no benefit. And that's where
building strength in your foot can come really in handy. For the majority of people, we need to be building the function of your foot, not using a Band-Aid or a crutch to help the foot, which over a period of time is not actually going to help the function.
Yeah, it's really important to understand that. So just like my arm, if I put a cast on here and didn't move it, it's going to get weak. And if I left that on there, that wrap, let's say, on there, you would think that, yeah, I'm going to end up with injuries here and probably elsewhere in my body as I start to compensate it over time. It's the, what is the research? Well, I don't even have to go to research. It's the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand. We have to have that to have structures be resilient, right? Use it or lose it. These really basic fundamentals. And when we package up and don't use it and put it in a platform that has problems and we throw Band-Aids on the top of it, it creates more. So we talked in the prior video about like how the arch is literally the function of it is shut down when we start doing things like raising that big toe, pulling it inward, adding some toe spring, adding some heel lift. And so that is actually how they're trying to passively now control the foot or passively put it in the right position because the mechanisms are shut off for you to be able to do that. And then it also teaches you to start now resting on the arch for support because that's where it's coming from. So we start building up or shutting down the neurological processes and proprioception, the awareness of being able to do this.
It's as simple as with when you wear a shoe or an orthotic or whatever it may be that does the work for you, you don't have to do the work, right? And over time, if you're not doing the work, then that's when we're going to see atrophy. We know there's 3 muscles that support the medial longitudinal arch, and when we're not using those muscles, they get weak over time. So we want to use a shoe for the long run that's going to allow us to actually use our foot.
So, great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.